And the book was about systems and how you don't rise to the level of you don't rise to the level of your goals or whatever necessarily. You rise to the level of your system,
Right.
right?
Yeah, that's something I recently just learned about too, is systems, and like your system for yourself, but then also for my business and stuff. Like I had to realize that I needed to create this system in order for one, the system for my business to run on myself by itself, but then the system for me to run where it's like that's the discipline aspect of it, where it's like, all right, you know what you have to do at this XYZ, but then also being able to hold myself accountable too. And then you said something earlier too, where you talk about your word and
Honoring my word.
honoring your word. And if you can't honor your word to yourself, it becomes less, and you feel that. But then other people can feel that around you as well, because again, what you're doing externally is you're
Oh
feeling
yeah, yeah.
internally.
Don't even go there. I could go deep
Exactly.
on that.
So it's just like
Yeah.
I was just like, well, I gotta start holding myself accountable to myself. And it's just like, again, it's almost like you go into a store, you purchase something, and you're like, hey, this camera doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? It says it does X, Y, and Z, but it's not doing it. But now you got to do that to yourself. And I realized that's something I had to do, was just hold myself accountable to these things, but really redefine everything too, because it's just like I was believing and doing things that wasn't serving me anymore. And I'm like, I need to level up somehow, some way. Like, and I read a book. I read two books that really, well, three books that really helped reset and help me redefine where I wanted to be. One was "You Are a Dream" by Professor G. That was a great book. It's like for creatives, resets your mind and allows you to create in a space where it's generally all your truth. Another one was "Think Like a Monk."
I have that book.
I
Pretty sure
think
I
that
have
was
that
a
book.
that
I
was a
haven't read it
great
though.
book, and it allowed me to be able to detach and be more present, because they're like, monks are scientifically known as the happiest people in the world, and I'm like, I want to be happy.
Desirelessness.
Exactly, yeah. And the last book, which was by Sid Guru, The Inner Engineering,
Yeah,
that
I've
book.
seen him in person. He's phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
thought about engineering. I haven't done it, but it was on my. It's kind of still on my list.
yeah. It Man, that was a great book because it gave me so many life
He's
gems.
phenomenal.
Yeah, he is. I actually saw one of his interviews on Impact Theory on YouTube, which made me
Yeah,
such a
Impact
big
Theory is
fan.
solid. I said I'm
Yeah,
gonna be on Impact Theory. I wrote on one of them. This guy's what's his name?
Tom
Yeah,
something.
Tom Bilyeu. I said on
Yeah,
one of his things, I was like, I'm gonna be on your show. Put me on your show. But that was like years ago. Oh, these things all come about.
yeah, they're
I
coming.
should be on there.
It's coming. It's
Yeah,
coming.
I need to be on everything.
Yeah, and again, that was another show that kind of like,
Got a lot of great interviews.
yeah. So it was just like, man, like it really exposed me to a lot of things. Like I was exposed to Jay Shetty. I was exposed
Yeah,
to
phenomenal.
Sid Guru.
A lot
Those
of
are the
people.
two that, and I just really like delve into those two people. There
Yeah,
were some
you don't
other,
need a whole bunch.
yeah, you
You only
don't,
need
you
one. You
don't,
don't even need any of them. No disrespect. Like you don't
yeah,
even need me. You only I don't know. You could go inside, but sure. I don't need anyone, but I still go because I like what
yeah,
people's perspectives are.
yeah, and that's the thing, like reference points.
Yeah.
But it's also good to have people who live life at the frequency where you want to be or where you're currently at, because if you don't operate at that frequency no more, now you're pulling yourself down, you're pulling your energy down, and there's no need to be around that. And that's something, again, we spoke about. It's a choice that you make, and that's the choice that I'm making, is to elevate to the frequency of where I want to be, and to hear these things, and to hear like the word choice is just amazing. I'm like, oh, I choose these things. These are just ideas that I put in my head too, where it's just like, for instance, when we talk about the days of the week, like, oh, I hate Monday because XYZ, because we're told
It's
these
not.
things.
That's a space and
Yeah,
time that you're
exactly.
creating. Like Monday is the bathroom. Every
Right.
time you go in the bathroom, you hate it.
Exactly. So it's just like we're choosing these ideas, and we're choosing to identify with these
And
things,
you
but
run with it, and it work, and it's like you're worshiping it,
exactly.
like a bad god, like a god that you don't want to worship, but you're
Right.
doing it every time.
And exactly. And that's something that I realize when I'm like, wait, this doesn't serve me any longer.
Exactly. It's not real.
Yeah.
Because if you take all of this away, you wake up into a space of just waking up because if you follow the natural rhythm by the circadian rhythm, you're going to go to sleep when it's dark. No, wake up, but you're not going to know. There's no clocks, none of that.
Yeah.
You know, if you tell somebody that, it completely like throws them off. They don't even know what you're saying. They're like, but what am I supposed? What am I supposed to do? I'm like, this is not real.
Yeah.
If you take it away, you get to do whatever. But they don't even understand what I'm saying.
No, but you perfectly describe how I wake up in mornings. I wake up to a space because I'm just like,
your canvas.
Yeah.
Every day's I said in my book, at the beginning of my book, I said, basically in the beginning, opening stanza, the opening, which is the introduction. I said, a picture's worth is the section. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. My aspiration is that these words of mine spark inspiration, enabling you to paint innumerable vivid pictures of your life. May it be a life defined by how you perceive yourself, how you present yourself daily, and the boundaries you dare to push. Harness your inner creator, unleash your potential and soar. Select life's finest ingredients with a touch of love, mold a masterpiece that signifies your time here. With a brush of creativity, splash vibrant colors across the canvas of your imagination and journey through a realm of endless possibilities. Embrace this voyage, make amendments as you sail, and steer towards our collective haven, paradise. What I'm saying is take a brush and create whatever you want to create every day. Now, when you live in this concept of a fake past, I know when I get to work, I'm going to see John and he's always bothering me. That's how people live in this concept.
Right.
So you don't wake up with a vibrant canvas like a child who's like maybe goes on a trip, whatever. Or they, I can't wait to go on a trip. And that's how life should be, ideally. But we don't see it that way. You could do this. You could every day wake up like you say, what the hell's a Monday? I'm just waking up. Yes. And here's my concept of waking up, because I have a friend, super successful. He was at the event, Chris. He was at the, he's uber successful, multimillionaire, cars, all that stuff, fancy cars, million. That doesn't matter. Great family dynamic, wife, kids. He gets it. He's beyond his world. He understands all this stuff and then some. And so we have conversations. It's great. Only difference between he and I, well, one of them, not only, well, whatever, is that he's realized the money or he's taking it in. I've yet to, because I didn't go with that. And he's still working on more of that. But in any case, he says, like, we wake up and a lot of us don't understand, like, dude, you weren't necessarily supposed to wake up. So first of all, just even being like, wow, I woke up again. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Being like, oh my goodness, I did it again.
Yeah, that gratitude, man.
But like this way, oh snap, I actually woke up. Yeah. So what did I turn that into once I got, like, I mean, I wake up that way, or at least in part or whatever, and I'm conscious aware. I said I call that the wow factor. Okay. Whereas I'm waking up with a wide open window to do whatever I want. So that's my wow factor.
Open window.
That's the acronym I created. The wow factor. I got a wide open window, but we can't see that, a lot of us, because we're caught up in this foolishness. I got to go to work. Oh my goodness, these bills. They're asking for $2,700 for this apartment, and next month is going to go up to $3,000. You're stuck. But you don't have to be stuck, because even with all of that, you could still be like, yo, I'm going to fix this. I'm not going to think differently. I'm going to make it different for me. I'm going to change. I'm going to choose different energy, and all of that will start to change. I have those things. I have mortgage. I have my daughter's tuition. I have, transportation costs, but I'm not like, oh man, I got to pay. I'm just kind of like, okay. At the same time, you should see me in the office. People know this is fake. They laugh and be like, yeah, Reggie says this. And it is. I'm like this, and he's a CEO, and I'm not disrespecting anyone. This is made up.
It is.
So all these rules and all of this and that, it's somebody's interpretation of how you're supposed to live. And it wasn't always this way, and it's changing. 4 days a week work, potentially, maybe one day goes to 6 days a week. Maybe it goes to with this and that. And they're talking about UBIs, Universal Basic Index of income for people, because they're phasing people out with AI, and then people are going to be made indispensable because, or dispensable, not indispensable, but dispensable, because a lot of us aren't going to get ourselves ready for this new world. Right. And so what are you good for? In their eyes, you're good for nothing. almost, no disrespect to you, but it's kind of what it is. So like, if you get a good concept of who you are, you'll be able to override all of this, because things are going to come to you to make it such that you can always live well and overcome this fake reality. It's not yours. It's someone's design. That day, wide open window, woke up, canvas, we're going to paint the world this way. Like Bob Ross, there was a painter. I will put a tree over here. They were like, okay, we're going to make this. We make this concept. You got to go to work, paint this. But people don't realize that within that same thing, you could be like, okay, I may not override this whole system, but let me get my own little canvas over here.
Right.
This. Yeah, y'all got this. And I see that, but I ain't really recognize it. I'm okay with all that. And your canvas could stand complete and show up in the world as bright and vibrant as it can be, but you got to get that.
Right. Yeah. When people watch content, sometimes they leave inspired, and sometimes they leave with nothing to hold on to. I wanted to create something that stays with you long after the video is over. I created something you can reflect with. This isn't about the right answer or fixing yourself. It's about honest reflections. A lot of my clarity didn't come from solutions. They came from asking questions. Questions that sat with me while reading You Are a Dream, Think Like a Monk, The Inner Engineering, just to name a few. Those books didn't tell me who to become. They helped me notice who I already was. So if you're feeling stuck or you're standing in an intersection, not really knowing what to do next, this is what helped me. Everything starts with a question that you are willing to answer honestly. Mirror form isn't a rule book, it's just a glimpse, a moment of time. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You don't need to solve anything today. You just need to see yourself clearly. I need to be more flexible.
Yeah, flexibility is key. You don't want to break.
And that now, when you said it, I'm just like, I'm really analyzing my external world. I'm not flexible. So now it's just like, maybe that's hindering me from like different things to move through life. So now I'm like, okay.
It's all the same, because that whole concept of, it's called the law of polarity. Up, what's inside, outside, up, down, left, right, all that kind of stuff. Like that's polarity, right? So, when, as below as above and all that. So what's inside is going to reflect outside, right? Right. So a lot of us don't understand that, and we don't go within and sit with ourselves to be like, okay, like this is showing up in my relationships. This is showing up and it's everywhere. The flexibility. If you ain't flexible, you bound not to be. It just factors that way.
So now that, like, I'm saying, like, that really hit me. So I was like, damn, Tay, like, bro, you gotta start getting to it. And the crazy part is, I have it like 6 a.m. You need to do like yoga, stretch, meditate. Like I have
to put it bigger, like that.
Or I might have to. I might have to put it bigger for me.
Hanging from the you bump into it, like something you hang off the ceiling, whatever. Where it's like right in front of you. Like even sometimes, like, because I have stuff hanging up, and even like I have stickers on my mirrors in the bathroom, like trust, love, God, all these. But it almost don't see it. It's funny because it's all over my bathroom. But then when I'm in it, I'm looking at it. But at the same time, because of the way I live, it's like I'm decent, I'm good, pretty good. But I'm still like, actually, it's funny because you could have it right there and still kind of miss it. Now, the only other thing is it's got to be like smack into you. Almost like a spike on a foot. It's just, right? So you have to really put it into place. Like if it was coming down when every time you come through this room, you smack up against a piece of paper.
I gotta do it.
Yeah, then it's like it'll be a thing that like once you get it, get it, and then it's like I got this.
Yeah, I definitely have to put that out there, put it a little bit.
Because that could be missed.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't have to look at that every day.
Yeah, I'm just leaving. I gotta take this off. Well, I will take it off and. I gotta hold myself accountable and do that more often. Yeah. I know it's hard, and I just gotta choose. Like I'm choosing to do my hard. Like this whole thing is just another monster in itself. Just being able to sit through like hours of footage, edit, and review, and clip stuff up, and just like I'm like, yo, this is what I want to do. So I gotta make sure.
It's work, but you become a master.
Yeah. So it's just like, but I'm getting a full understanding of everything that goes into it. and I'm just really enjoying the process of it all. Like I get to sit back. I personally get to sit back and review this and look at it, but then also I get so caught up in the interviews. I'm like, damn, did we just film this, or like I didn't even
Almost
know
like
this just
surreal.
happened. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like I'm sitting here as a fan now, but I was actually in that same room. So it's like an out of body experience. Like sometimes just sitting here, just listening to these conversations when I get to review them. So, but I really enjoy that. But wait, let me get on this question real quick. So how would you describe how these three pillars, or your pillars, I don't want to say three, but how would you describe um, how your pillars flow together? What's the glue that holds your Trinity in place?
What happens with that, or if you even think about collectively what these pillars are, we talk about affirmations, we talk about prayer, and we talk about stretching, which is really more than exercising. You're helping to get to a state of completeness. Completeness within, as we just touched on in our conversation off camera. Maybe it was on camera, I'm not sure, but it was this whole thing of what you are inside will be reflected outside. So if you want or you like to be a certain way, in this case, I'm designed to be, live this best life as much as I can understand it to be based off my asking for it. So when you take prayer and praying for yourself and praying for others and wishing for the best for others as you wish for yourself, when you take affirmations, which is another form of prayer, well, it could be tied up into that depending on the words, and asking or saying certain things about yourself in the sense of like powerful words of I am such and such, I'm great, I'm wonderful, and all that. It helps you to get to a certain level of completeness with yourself, right? The prayer, a certain level of completeness with yourself, and asking for that for other people. A good life, I wish for the best of all. I wish everyone to be just who they're meant to be. Again, collectively, completeness, and with the whole idea of stretching and exercising to honor your body, treat your body, this vessel that you're in, the spirit is in, that it lives in, the one vessel. Treat it a certain way, a certain level of when you're operating at the highest level of energy, state of health and wealth in that way, because health is wealth. Again, a certain level of completeness. So how do they work together collectively to get to a certain place of completeness? And again, there's other stuff, but just that alone should help one to understand. You treat yourself a certain way, you say things a certain way, treat and care for other people, everything around you, the words you use, the positivity, the energy, and all of that is going to allow you to be a way in which you are in the world functioning at an optimal state, right? And so for me, it's that, and being able to do that throughout, all as much as I can because of an awareness, a consciousness of it. And of course, if you're living that, meaning doing it, being it, saying it, it's going to be who you are. Right. It's going to be, and then there's no thinking about it. You just are that, right? And so I can show up every day, every way in that way, and be less of a thing or less of a person or individual or entity who's going to be in a negative space and eating poorly and saying negative things about people or being critical and judgmental. I'm going to be on the other side of that because I made that a part of my life.
Beautiful, that choice that you made. So with your pillars, with your pillars, what have you learned about yourself?
What I've learned is that I'm committed because I've taken on this way, which I look at a lot of those individuals around me who are not willing to take on this way because of maybe excuses we make. And this is not putting me in a state and place of like I'm better, so I'm going to qualify that, but just that I'm committed to being a certain way. I'm committed to seeing the world show up a certain way. I'm committed to myself showing up a certain way. I'm committed to doing a certain level of work, like things that people will say is fun, things that people will look for pleasure in all the time, whatever. I'm willing to forego that thing for the greater good, right? For the greater place for me to be able to exhibit a certain way of being, to be able to share with people a certain way, to not always take on or to do certain things, whether it's these parties or whether it's the things that we call fun, because oftentimes, and this is a statement I heard recently, I probably heard it before, is that where we lack meaning in life, we search for pleasure. I'm not just looking for pleasure. Sure, I have pleasurable moments and days and meals and different things, but I'm looking more so for meaning, right? And so what I learned is that I was looking to be a person, an individual, entity, spirit, all that stuff, who was designed to have meaning, and to show meaning for others and show others a way to live in purpose, a way to make the most of this existence and get what they need to get out of it in every aspect, while not just like existing. Because I've heard things like, a lot of us, when we die, maybe you remember for days, maybe months, maybe a couple years, but for some, especially if you leave a real legacy, we know certain people will pass, from the Martin Luther Kings and Gandhis and Muhammad's, and of course we can say Jesus. Many of us believe as Lord and Savior, but nonetheless who've done things to exist, immortal in a sense. So I realized for me that in this journey was that I was willing to do a certain level of the work. And as a couple friends, we talked about since youth, and one of my really good friends, Anthony, we talked about being agents of change and ushering a new way of living and a new world for people to all be able to live fully, as much as they want to make it their reality, but live fully in the world, to be fair, and for people to have the things that they're meant to have, overcome these systems and things like that. And I learned that I was the man for the job, or the person who was going to actually do it, because I'm still doing this. Is many years of living this way, and at this point just keep building upon it, and realizing more and knowing more and showing up more.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. That was dope. That was dope. So how do you see these pillars shaping your future, your work, or even your relationships?
The more I'm me, and all I know how to be is me, and the authenticity of who I am. These are not necessarily saying I'm authentic, but what I'm saying is that, so what these help me to be who I'm meant to be. Because if I'm this person, well, even as I said what I said, so it's actually in line with that. So basically, the more I am who I'm meant to be, is going to be the person who's doing these things, right? Who's taking care of himself, who's honoring people, who's praying for people and himself, who's taking care of the world at large, right? So the more and more and more I am that, how much more authentic can you be? How much more loving can you be? How much more powerful can you be? How much more giving can you be? But I guess you can, right? Because in a sense, I think of things as infinite, that you can always keep adding and bettering your best. So the more I'm that, the more of a positive effect I have on the world around me, just as much as I have on myself. And the more I'm able to create a world that is, we're going to say, in a sense, utopia, in a sense of an ideal world. So as I continue on in this fashion, as I continue on in this way, all I'm doing is bringing to light, or bringing to, reality, if you will, the world in which I know the world is meant to be, right? So it's not there yet, because we see a lot of things that are strife or unrest, or levels of whether it may be negativity and criminality and those types of things, but I don't resonate in that frequency. Things that I'm doing as far as the trilogy, the things of the prayer and the affirmations and the taking care of myself and the stretching, and then there's more to it, as I mentioned. This helps me to show up, to bring to the table what needs to be brought to the table, to be an effect on others, the impact that I talked about earlier. And the more and more I do that, the brighter the world becomes. So for me, it's about, on my platform, I barged this the other day. I said, on my platform, it's the norm to always perform like all the lights always on. So I'm always about performing like the lights are always on, to show up in the way that I'm supposed to show up.
And what led you to that, to perform The light's always on. Like,
what led me to that, and I'm still in that evolution of that, is, to know that it's a difference maker. To know that, like, when you, as I said, as a tenet I live by, which is to always impact. And so now I don't have, and there are other things that have happened where I did this plant medicine, and it was revealed to me, this God really telling you, and it was said to me, don't think anymore, just walk the path. And I mentioned this on camera, like doing psychedelics and magic mushrooms, if you will. And I did some maybe within the last year, and I could see in my visions, I could see a path that was just showing me like this. So I know I'm on a path, not having to think, and just continue on that path. So now, like, it's just continue to do what I'm doing, because I know, as we talk about this like I know, I feel it. I like the expression you use where you get goosebumps on your brain. It's like I get this like euphoric feeling inside of me, especially if like I really sit with it. Like it's not like I'm always at that state of like I'm feeling it, but if I just sit with myself and kind of like, yo, I'm doing this and I'm living this and I'm doing this interview and this just happened and this, and I'm like, oh, yo, this is. And then there's this level of trust, which is an absolute trust, where once you get it, and you can feel levels of going human and feeling the impatience and stuff like that, or whatever, but you shake it because you're like, because you trust and know that this stuff that's in the ether, the unseen, is that which is the real, which is actually going to make the stuff that we call seeing come to light. So I'm at that place now, because it's just, it's like, I've saw certain things already. I've seen certain things already, and that's enough for me. There's no more like disbelief. There's no like needing to challenge it. Just like keep going. And knowing like the truth, the messages you got with truth.
Right. I think, man, there's two things that came out of that. One is the fact of, I think when you say you sit with yourself, I would say that would be within solitude, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of that.
Yeah, because I some people may take that as being alone, and
I got a bar for that.
Alone is basically the negative part of like solitude is being at peace. But
you're never alone, but everything that was given to you is a loan.
I like that. That's crazy.
Everything you get is borrowed. You're never alone, but you get these things that you don't keep necessarily. Those are loans. Everything is a loan, but you're never alone. Because once you understand who you are, you're never alone.
And people say that a lot, that they're alone.
No, they just don't yet know who they are.
Yeah, they don't know who they are.
Once you are there,
right.
Now you can have these feelings where you feel a little bit lonely, but you're never alone.
Okay.
Because once you get it, you're like, oh man, I'm this infinite being. I can do anything. Oh, this is wonderful. And just you get overcome with these feelings of the truth. Yeah, you can feel lonely, but you can shake that. Okay, I'm lonely. Okay, nobody's here. But then you're like, oh, hold on. Let me go into the side of let me think. Let me not think. Let me sit here and process whatever. And sometimes we just want to be with people all the time. That's not what it's about.
Yeah.
You didn't come into this world with anyone. You
Right.
went into the body by yourself.
Right.
You go out by yourself. So what does that tell you?
Right. And that's the thing about us just being what is it? What was I about to say? And that's the thing with us, just not realizing the part of us, I like to say solitude, that of us being in this space where we are able to analyze those things for ourselves and being in solitude. And I just wanted to basically put that out there for people to understand, or basically know the difference. But then now we just got another bar, which is the alone bar, which is dope.
You're never alone, but everything that's given to you is a loan.
Exactly.
Things you're given to are, you're like, you don't necessarily keep majority of this stuff, but you're never alone because you have been made complete.
I really enjoy how you give definition to things and how you redefine it for the purpose of being and making it so joyful and just happy, like
Colorful and digestible.
the wow, and almost like how you were describing the wow as like the inner child. And I remember Sid Guru was talking about how we, as we get older, I'm paraphrasing, but as we get older, the joy is stripped from us. Like that inner child is stripped from us. And when we get older and we get to that actual self-actualization, we start to realize that we want that person, that kid that we once was, we're trying to go back.
That's
to
what you're
that.
really looking to return to.
Exactly. So it's just like the way that you kind of like, you painted that picture was just amazing, giving it the wow. I was like, damn, like that really hits, you know?
A lot of us our inner child is leading us, because what happens for a lot of us, because you talk about inner child in one way, which is a decent, good way, but a lot of times what happens is traumas and different things that happen to you, like, you know, you got beat, whatever, rape, abuse, whatever, and you land and stop there. So then that child is what's ruling your life now. And if you don't make good with that and cure that pain and trauma and different things, your child is running your life. But it's not fair to that child to run an adult life. So what happens, you're doing all these things and you think, I'm a man and this and that, and I'm the man. But no, dude, you actually a 7-year-old boy. There's a certain someone who will run in the country. There's a trauma scenario there or something. That's your inner child that's behaving that way. If you can overcome that, or when you do, and let that kid heal and all that stuff, and then say, hey, go out and play. I got this from here. Your life will transform. I had to do some of that, because my inner child, some of what stopped me was like my mom, certain things she did, and not knowing how to fully love me. So, you know, I translated a certain way, and when it came to relationship, and I was pushing love away, and I had to heal from that. So once I did all this work, now I could love anybody easily. Like I could be like to any woman, you so beautiful, and not even want you. And they don't even know how to deal with that now. And I don't even want that. I'm just like, you're phenomenal. You're great. And if I say this to some people, they're like a woman, like just being nice, like complimentary, because not like, I don't want to, nothing like that. Just, you a great woman. You phenomenal. You this. And it's like, this is like a friend of mine, a coworker, like I'll say that she's cool, and I'll just say certain things. Not even like that, but like you're cool, you're great, whatever it may be. And she's just like, I believe you, but I've never heard this before. That's her trauma. So a lot of us don't even know how to be, and that's just on focus on this aspect of a conversation. You know, we can go back to, you know, just kind of conversation more. Is that because of all that inner child hurt stuff and whatever, and not overcoming it, and that type of thing leads you to being at the certain place of how you're living, and it disrupts your life. So in the case of women relationships, beating up, and this one, that abuse, whatever, when your child, all those different things, and not curing that, it messes up your life. So now when somebody comes along that's like clean, no trauma, like I have a clear slate. When I did my plant medicine, it said your slate is clean. So I'm like in a different state of being. That's why I resonate this way, and it's like, how are you not? I did a lot of work. So now when I say, I'm saying it in truth. Like if I say you the man, I'm saying it, I'm not threatened by anybody. You can have billions, that don't mean nothing. That's man-made stuff. Exactly. I don't care. You can have everything, every woman. I'm like, I can get any of that. I don't care. I'm so good with everything. None of that phases me. When you're that place and you come to someone and you sharing that type of thing, it's just kind of tricky for someone, because if you have that stuff that you're dealing with, that's where that work. And a lot of us, it's tricky. We won't do it. But if you can clear all of that, you come out here like superhuman. Superhuman, man.
And that's the part of getting clarity within yourself. And
keep going in the fire and burning like a gold. Gold has impurities. If it's not pure 24 karat, whatever gold has, what they call the dross, which is the impurities. You keep burning gold. Eventually you get those impurities out. You don't have to burn anymore once you're pure. Now you just continue to maintain. But if you get all that out, the trauma, the stuff that happened to you, all this negativity, self-talk, blah, 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 and you get to the other side, then you're walking around like, mastery, man. You can master this life or work towards it and be pretty high up on that scale. and people can say what they want to say, you thinking perfect. Even those statements, yes, you can be perfect. I'll give you a statement. I know we're switching up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If God makes no mistakes and
Mm-hmm.
you're from God,
Mm-hmm.
why are we saying we're not perfect?
Mm-hmm.
It's contradictory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only human. People say I'm only human. So you're telling me human is an error. That's what your statement's saying. Now I'm just going to be blunt because I'm just going to start. I need to talk.
Yeah.
God makes no mistakes. You're saying you believe in God already. We should be past belief, but you should know God. But okay, whatever. You believe God. We'll lead you there. God makes no mistakes. You come from God. You're made in the image of God. I'm only human. We're not perfect. What kind of mumbo jumbo soup is that? That's not. How can you eat that soup and digest that and be okay?
Yeah.
You're not getting it. I don't care. I'm not trying to be mean to people, but I'm just saying this. Listen to those statements and tell me how that word soup makes sense in your head.
Nah, you just.
God makes no mistakes. We come from God, made in the image. You make a mistake or whatever, or you justify. I'm only human. We're not perfect, but God makes no mistakes, and God made you. And you're from God, and you God, da da da. So how can you not? How can you be from God and God makes no mistakes, but you're human and you make mistakes because you're not perfect? All I'm doing is taking your words and bringing it back. It's not making it. You can be perfect,
right?
Or you can work towards it. And making mistakes is not being perfect. That may be a part of your perfection. Because when you walk, do you necessarily walk and get it the first time?
No.
Well, that's your perfect creation of you walking.
Right.
You might fall 50 times.
Yeah.
People don't understand and misinterpret what perfect means. Perfect doesn't necessarily mean not making mistakes. Perfect means getting to where you need to get whilst making the mistakes. If you even want to call them that, or the failures and errors and stuff like that. And maybe the fewer mistakes that you're making or you're not trying is why you're not perfect, because you're not doing enough to realize your perfection.
Yeah. And I think that goes back to people trying to dim your light and tell you to be humble when they can't themselves. So people project onto you.
They don't know that they can. So if they're not in a state of where they're beyond that, they may potentially do that instead of just owning the fact of where they are and saying, I'm going to work towards this, but I'm not going to say anything that's going to negate what you have going on.
Yeah.
But when you're in ego and all that stuff and you're living in a level of error, because ego has a place, but ego had a place more so back in the day when we lived in, out in the jungles and in these places where it was danger and it had to warn you and all that. But now ego doesn't serve the same purpose. A lot of people's ego is keeping them stuck and, and walking around thinking they're a man because they got a certain job or she, whatever, and she's a supermodel. All this stuff is man-made constructs.
It is.
Supermodel, this, I'm a celebrity, I got 100 million fans. What are you talking? You a supermodel or whatever because somebody said this is what beauty is. But everything is beauty. You're a a celebrity with 100 million followers, but what are you teaching them? They're following what? How to put on makeup? To put beauty on them that they already have? Some distortion of what beauty is? Beauty is not some stuff you put on your face. Beauty is the way in which you live. You automatically beauty. So the more you come out and be honorable and loving and caring and treat people kind and all that, because many of those individuals doing something like say you may not even be behaving that way.
Correct.
That's not beautiful. The more you have people who are supposedly this concept of what we call beautiful, that are horrible behaving people.
For sure.
So pretty face, shitty attitude. That ain't beauty.
Right. Not at all.
So all of this stuff ain't real, but we get to believe in it's real, and then we live that way, and then we realize it's not real because our spirit is telling us. Because when you trying to work towards that, and all this disruption and stuff is telling you that ain't real, and even the people who are doing it, a lot of them know it's not real because ultimately their spirit is talking to them. Their levels of wealth and all that stuff, and drug addicts, and I'm not painting a negative. I'm just talking truth. Just look at it, and then the people who know, like me. I don't necessarily have a lot of fans, at least on my Instagram. And I post nothing but positive. But you know what I realized? Another bar, I don't have many followers because I create leaders. Think about what I said. And that's not a disrespect to anyone. A lot of people won't necessarily follow you because they don't want to do what you're doing. So they're looking at me. They're not necessarily, I'm following. Because it's like, damn, this guy's doing too much. he's exercising, he's thinking positive, he's reading books, he's saying, nah, that ain't my way. I'd rather go out there and smoke herb.
Yeah.
I'd rather like go and, you know, waste my time partying, chasing after women.
Mm-hmm.
When more people want to become leaders, they'll start following me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a lot of followers. You're still looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
You're just acting like you're not.
Yeah. That's how they move out here, unfortunately.
Yeah, and no disrespect, it's just truth.
Right.
I got a small audience of fans, of people that want to hang with me. Okay, great. The other ones, they admire me from afar. I see them.
Mm-hmm.
Or not admire me. They might be, you know, they use the word hating, and I don't like to use that term, but I've seen it, because why? You see I'm doing some solid. Why are you not buying my book for different things? My book is, this is a great book. I know it.
Yeah.
It's powerful. You
Right.
know? Come on. Time will tell, but you get to have the first words. I mean, I know this. Why you are a leader. I hope you follow what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Some bars on that.
Right.
Leader, I hope you follow that. What I'm saying. I said you're a leader. Did you follow that?
Yeah.
You know? For right now, if you desire, you can go to a place that's much higher. It starts with the thought and nothing more. What are you waiting for? It's a bar.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You're betting everything on this life. Make this bet count.
It's a
Bring
gem.
forth your best, unmatched and complete, and witness the finest outcome that you'll ever meet.
Gem. It's a gem.
And then there's words behind that, and then there's a place to reflect. As you talk about sitting in solitude, this, that, and other, taking these words, taking the material that you have before you creating your own. Hey, he just said that, I just learned that. What does that mean to me? Come back to it tomorrow. You may pick up on something else. The same book, the same material. You keep digesting it. You know, the same meal doesn't taste the same everyone. You eat chicken, you know it's chicken, but it ain't digesting in your body the same time. Every time you eat it the same way.
Right. Right. That's a fact.
Yeah. Same with the book. Same with anything. You watch a movie. Oh, I've seen that before. Watch it again. You missed something.
Yeah.
You're in a different state, and you're constantly transforming. You're a different you every instance of time, which we call time, whatever. But right now, the version of you and me, 5 minutes from now, we're different. Completely different.
Especially after this conversation.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hearing myself too. I'm going to listen to, you're going to send me I'm going to listen to myself, because sometimes I'll watch it like, damn, that's God.
Yeah.
It just sounds like, wow, like the way I term that, because I don't even know what I'm saying, but when I hear it back, I'm like, yo, I flowed on that. But I'm not trying. It's nothing to try. There's nothing to think about. I know not to go script. I'm not scripting. I'm not here to go and script. Hold on. Okay, you asked me a question. Here's my answer. There's nothing to think about.
Yeah.
It's natural. Someone says, oh, it doesn't sound preachy. It doesn't sound, because what is that? I'm not here to preach. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. All I'm doing is sharing. And if you sit there and you're open to it, you'll be like, yo, I can work with that. I've transformed my own life. I listened to other people. I decided to, and I took enough of that material, and I was like, I'm one of them. I was always one of them. I just, you know, it's not like we're always everything, but once you get it, now I listened to thousands of audio, thousands of hours of audio, self-help, all that kind of stuff. I read a bunch of books. I don't need to read them anymore, but I still do.
Yeah.
That's who I am. And this is enough to do anything. I can be whatever I want to be. I can do whatever I want to. If I want to be a supermodel, whatever. It doesn't. I know I can do all this stuff. But what's the one that's going to be the biggest benefit? Transforming lives. To help you to get to a point where you do that, but you also do the other stuff, the real stuff. Sure, you go and work and be a supermodel, but you in a real place and state of, I'm at a supermodel, but I'm actually doing something purposeful. I'm an actor, but I'm actually purposefully living. You got actors who are also humanitarians and stuff like that. Robert Redford, who just passed away, long-time actor, was in his 80s. He also started doing like humanitarian or that type of work. You know, some of us like realize our purpose, a more purposeful way, even in the midst of this system that we're working in.
Yeah.
That's not purpose-driven. It's meant to keep you bound in a way where it's, but I don't subscribe to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Cancel that subscription. Well, many of us should do that. Like we have these, it's really what it is. It's a subscription like Netflix and everything else. You can cancel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't pay for that.
But we subscribe to it daily.
Yeah.
Starting with
it's the same thing, these words. Subscription. You're subscribing to the news. You're subscribing to negativity.
Yeah.
You're subscribing to eating a lot of food. You're subscribing to being lazy. My subscriptions are not that. I don't have those. If you look at my thing, I don't have those subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
I have positivity, waking up early, being mindful, being purposeful, being caring, being kind, taking care of my body, taking care of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have a little bit, those are not subscriptions. Like one of those will come in a little bit, but I like boot it away. Nah, I ain't doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't subscribe to that.
Right.
To
Yeah.
get to awareness, consciousness. Again, my goal or aspiration is to raise the consciousness of billions, guiding humanity towards a brighter, more connected future. That's part of what's written on the back of this book.
Mm.
This book serves as, and it's not just a book, it's my own. This book serves as a transformative tool for individuals to realize their highest aspirations and make a profound impact on their lives and the world around them. I stand by this. I wrote this. I'm standing by my word. I live this way. So I don't have to go, oh, they say, oh, I check you. You didn't do that. Okay, really? No. You're not going to see that in me.
That's the receipt. You are the receipt.
I'm the receipt.
You are the receipt.
So I put myself out there, but I'm like, what? Go ahead. What you got? Question. You can. People don't question me because they know. They see it in my way of life. But anyway, the second time I talked about sharing. Talk about people showing up, sharing. With sharing, you don't have to be a talker in front of people, but share what you have. Everyone has something inside of us. They say the richest place on the earth is the graveyard, because a lot of us go to the ground or grave or whatever to, leaving the planet with all that music and creativity and stuff inside of us. So I said share. My thing of saying to you in this conversation is that we came to share, and we saying stuff that we know has value, meaning we want to give it to you, whether it's deep stories or what have you. There's something in you that you want to put out, whether in a talk, whether it doesn't matter. Let that stuff be released. Sit with yourself if necessary, come up with some ideas, or you might already have it in you, but release it into the world because the world needs to see it. Right? And the more you get out that is meant to come out, the better the world is, because they're seeing what you're made of, and seeing what you have to offer, what somebody can benefit from.
It reminds me of a saying from Sid Guru that we don't own anything. Nothing is ours. So like, even though like the knowledge, it's alone. Like it's given to you, and just you get what you need from it, and then you give it back. And I think that's important to give it back, because your personal interpretation may help others who may not have received it before from someone else.
Yeah.
So I think that's important, that we give back the knowledge and to the people, to the world, but then also to like, again, be able to receive it in person. It's just different. Like, again, I've seen you at the funeral and boom.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, this guy's on a different frequency. What's going on? What's up with this
I
guy?
didn't even feel like I was in a funeral. I don't feel that energy. Like I'm in a funeral and I feel like I'm glowing. I was at a funeral even recently. My friend's, she was like 91 or so, his mother-in-law. And I'm just like, I feel very different in these places. And I'm like, there's a part where it's celebration, but then I know there's the other part where someone died. And I'm just like, I don't feel death. Because I don't subscribe, I live.
Right.
Like there's another bar. I have so many bars. It's not specific to like death, but it's like when someone says, what do you do for a living? But my response is, I don't work for a living. I live and that works for me.
I live and that works for me.
Yeah. I don't work for a living because you're not here to work, first of all. And this is where people will, in that case, like, I'm working to survive. I'm working to pay you. No, if you live first, everything's going to come to you. So I don't work to live, or I don't work for a living. So I'm always living. I'm always expanding my consciousness, my awareness, so that like things like death and stuff, I understand those are really transitions anyway, but the way in which this world sees it and the way this stuff is viewed and the way that we're operating, again, I choose work as if I'm living forever. So the less error for error, I don't live for error. The less error I live in and the understanding of how to do things, how to live, what to eat, whatever, because a lot of us hasten our death, our thoughts, our actions, and all that. You're creating death in the way you're living. So I don't do that. I'm living or choosing to live, and I go, I'm gonna come out of here like, I already felt, but I'm like, that was Jump in my car, I'm gonna go get a massage, or get some
Yeah.
maybe some food, drive back home. I go into this festival tomorrow. I feel like powerful, but I always do. But now
Right.
this is like another level because I'm
Yeah.
like, I feel like a little like a charge.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like you just refueled my battery wasn't dead,
Right.
you know, nothing like that. But it's like I added more energy to my battery.
Yeah. Man, you said, again, you said you're just dropping gems. But what you just said also reminds me of a statement from Sid Guru where being able to live, right? And he says, if you live life with conclusions, you basically like live less. But like, if you live basically like open and being more receptive to the world, then you actually are living. And that's when I read that in the book, I'm like, whatever I'm living or whatever I believe, I just gotta let it go because
Because
these
a
things
lot
are
of his
holding me back.
expectations and all that, if you just being,
Mhm.
you know, just being, flowing, flow state, all those different things. Not like, oh, you know, and it goes to, because I did a meditation back in December of last year. It was, there's a concept called Vipassana,
Okay.
which is silent meditation where you sit. In this case, the place, these temples are all around the world. You start with like a 10-day meditation, silent meditation, where you go there and you take a code of silence. So
Okay.
once you get there, within a couple hours or whatever, you do a code of silence. So now you're not looking at anybody. It's a bunch of men, women. The men stay on the men's side, women on the women's side, and it could be dozens of men and women, whatever. And then you're not talking, and then you're just meditating up to, depending if you follow a full schedule, up to 10 hours a day or whatever. But you're sitting with people, the men on one side, women on the other side, an hour, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, middle afternoon, once in the evening or early afternoon. And then you do the rest of the meditation, whether in the tent together with people or in your own quarters. In any case, we have all these feelings and sensations and stuff coming through our body, right? Now, some of this stuff is tied to expectation. Like if you have aversion to things, like I don't want this, I don't want that near me, I don't like aversion, get this away from me. A lot of that, what that'll lead to is misery. But also if you crave a lot of stuff, if you have expectation, I gotta go there, I can't wait to get there, that can lead to misery. So what this thing teaches you in this form of meditation is allow all those sensations to come up to the surface, but don't acknowledge them, but don't hold on to them. And the less expectation you have, but less, cravings and all that stuff, holding on to it, you let it pass. Freedom.
Yeah.
So even prior to me doing the Vipassana meditation, 10 days sitting there in silence, which, I've done one so far. Just before that, because of how I've been living my life and all this stuff that I've been doing, I started feeling free. And I got signs. Go watch this movie. Go see the show. So I went to see this Broadway show called Aladdin. Check out the bars that I got from this. Aladdin. You're taking Aladdin. You're being allowed in. It's all adding up. That's Aladdin. Taking Aladdin, you're being allowed in. It's all adding up. Aladdin is about freedom. Why? The genie who's granting Aladdin wishes, he gets 3 wishes.
Yeah.
The genie also had a wish. So as he's granting wishes to Aladdin, he said, I would like freedom. He didn't want to do this thing of constantly granting wishes to people. Aladdin is 3, you your 3, whatever. Now here's how it works, and how it was put into the play. He eventually got his wish to be free. But what is freedom? Theme song. It's a whole new world. And you know what it feels like? It feels like you're riding high on a magic carpet.
Crazy.
I got all of that. But now, mind you, I live intentional.
Yeah.
I was either going to see that, and I've seen a few Broadway plays recently. I'm going to tell you, I like them and pretty enjoyable. But I was going to go to either that or another one. I forget the other one. It was, I forget which it was at the time. In any case, that was last year, like November of last year. In any case, but I get this inspiration, this message. So I went to see Aladdin. I took some shrooms, and I'm sitting there, and this woman's like, man, you look like you're really into this, whatever. I'm like, I'm on assignment, And then all of that came to me, and I put that on the Instagram or like on like LinkedIn or whatever. Really no responses. People weren't really getting what I'm saying. So what I was basically saying, when you get to this place of freedom, whole new world.
Yeah.
I was feeling that. I had that come. There was another movie, a movie Denzel watched about what was that movie? The movie with Denzel. It's like about he was what's the name of that movie? But that was about freedom. In any case, it was like Signs. So I went to see that, and then I went to Vipassana, right, and did that. And then on day seven, I'm in my little cubicle. Well, they call it a pagoda, Pagoda. So it's like a little closet you go in to do your meditation.
Yeah.
There's one way. They assigned me one. I went in there at that time to do something. And then I was like sitting there, and I got this feeling of like overwhelmed level of a feeling where it was like, you're free, bro. You're free to do, be, and act whatever you want to do. Be, act, and do whatever you want to do. And I started crying. But I really wanted to really cry because it was like a lot of my life is confirmational. So I wanted to like bawl, like, oh.
Yeah.
But I didn't because it's quiet in there, and I just like cried a little bit. And I was like, wow.
I had to let that go. Yeah.
No, meaning like, wow, I did it. Like I went and did that right around that time because of how like I just do things because I know to do them. Saw these movies, saw Aladdin. A few weeks later, whatever weeks later, I went to Vipassana. Vipassana got the message, sitting in quiet. Dude, you're free to be and do whatever. We're telling you that. Like God, like delivering.
But that was
so
like
it's another confirmation. It was like,
it was the release.
Gracious.
Yeah.
Like, how does this work? But at the same time, not questioning and just knowing like this is. And when you keep doing the work, that's why it's like, once people can get past their feelings and get past like the interruption and the noise and everything, I'll be like, I share with people, like I said, I told you I did that fast and I felt extraordinary. I say it in such a dynamic way to where I can get people to be like, yo, maybe I should try that. Yeah. Because I'm like, dude, you can feel and live and operate at a state and place which is like magical. But you gotta overcome your noise and overcome these things you've been told and overcome like this negativity and all that. But some of us have trouble getting through that. Yeah. And it's like, you can't, I don't like to say you can't. You may not help that. So for me, it's like, I just put it out there. Yeah. Here, I put this food out for you to eat. Hot meal, whatever you like, it's all there on the table. You take what you want. And then people gonna sometimes pick at it. Or maybe it's not even something they typically eat, but it looks good. Right. But they're like, I don't like broccoli. I don't like it. Yeah. You never tried that stuff. You just, who told you this was all? I don't eat vegetarian food. But you didn't try it. Exactly. You're just going off of noise and stuff. Exactly. Like, yo, and I love to hear those things. I never thought. Yeah. Oh man, thank you. Finally.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
I never thought it could be like that. Oh my goodness, I went there and I tried it. It was like one of the best things. There you go. Open up to the reality of like what's available to you. Anyway.
No, that's amazing. Hold on, my mom's actually calling me. So I'm going to have to take this in So where can people find you? Get in contact.
Best way would be Instagram. I'm on like I'm on all the platforms, but Instagram, I'm constantly in there, like DMs and all that. That's under my Instagram handle, Get Regicated, like Reggie's Education. So Get Get Regucated. Again, Get Regicated, Regucated. And otherwise on the different platforms by my full name, like LinkedIn, Facebook. I don't really use Twitter, but I have it, which is my full name, Reggie Hilliard, Reggie, last name Hilliard, Hilliard. But if you really want to find me, the one I'm going to go to the most is Instagram.
Gotcha.
Get Regicated. Reggie's Education.
Well, I want to thank you for coming and making the time to be here and sharing all the great gems. I can't wait to rewatch this and to like share this with the world. Of course, like there's so many gems that you dropped here, and most importantly, thank you for the time and your energy that we exchanged here. Like it was amazing. Yeah, having this conversation. So this will be up soon, and
I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to rewatch it and I mean, part of my purpose is just to share. So
Yeah.
whatever I can give, it can transform your life. I'm happy about that.
Hey, that's all that
It's
matters.
part of who I am, and I know how I'm living, and I know how I'm continuing to evolve. So if I can share with others, whether you pay me, whether it doesn't matter, you know, there's always going to be something that comes back. So
Well, I appreciate you coming by, man, and just dropping the gems, sharing your book.
yeah.
Also, check out the book, you guys. Remind me.
Oh, then the book is on all bunch of platforms. Audio version is on, like, you look up any platform, it should be there, like Amazon, Audible, Spotify, Google, Apple Play, and also the physical copy and Kindle version on Amazon. But it's called 50 to 100, 50 TO 100, 50 to 100. Then the subtitle is Infinity Within, 50 quotes, 100% achievement, endless potential. So it's just 50, not just, but 50 quotes that you can read this in one sitting. You can make it a daily kind of thing. And each quote has the quote, and then I kind of expound on the quote. And then I give you what that quote is meant in terms of the like short lesson of the quote. And then there's a follow-up or call to action behind that. So quote, what the quote really means, what the short lesson is to that, follow up and call to action. And then there's a part after each quote where you can reflect. So you can write your own thoughts. And if you actually get the physical book, you can actually write your own thoughts about what that quote means to you, what it inspires in you, and that type of thing. But if you listen to the audio version or on the Kindle version, you can make little notes on Kindle. But if you take the audio version, again, Spotify, Amazon, Audible, all that sort of stuff, you just listen to it and you can stop and pause and reflect in your own way. Maybe write some stuff in your own journal or something. But I know it can inspire the world. I know it's meant to, and it will, and it's growing. It's who I am, at least in part. I have other stuff inside of me, which will eventually come out. But I want the goal, the goal right here is to focus on this book, let it get to a certain level before I put something else out. So they're like competing with each other. Like let's get to a certain level and then put a nice other gem out there. And another one. I have a lot more and I can give you deeper stuff. I kept this very simple.
So let's get out there. Let's go support so we get some more gems.
Yeah.
You know, so that's most important. And that's what this challenge is about. Supporting people, bringing them onto the platform and just showcasing what they're doing. And also talk about their pillars and what led them to be who they are today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And I thank you guys for tuning in. And catch you on the next one. Peace.